Hello and welcome to EGMAT. We will solve question number 8 of OG Verbal 2nd edition by using EGMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence, and finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. As the cost of wireless services has steadily dropped over the last year, and as mobile phones have become increasingly common, many people are finding that they can avoid toll charges on their home phones using their mobile phones for making long-distance calls at night or on weekends, at a time which many wireless companies provide unlimited airtime for a small monthly fee. So this sentence presents a few facts. It says that the cost of wireless services has dropped steadily, and also the mobile phones have become increasingly popular. Hence, many people have realized that they can avoid toll charges on their home phones if they use their mobile phones to make long distance calls at night or on weekends, because generally these are the times when many wireless companies provide unlimited airtime for a small monthly fee. Now let us evaluate the errors by splitting the sentence into clauses. So here comes our first clause. As the cost of wireless services has steadily dropped over the last year, and here the cost of wireless services is the subject and has steadily dropped is the verb. Now notice that wireless services cannot be the subject in this clause because it falls in a prepositional phrase that actually modifies the noun, the cost. Okay, now the verb must, like, whatever actions happen in the sentence is due to the cost. So the verb used in the clause must agree in number with the cost, which it does here. So let's take a look at our second clause. As mobile phones have become increasingly common. Now here mobile phones is the subject and have become is the verb. Now as have been used in the sentence to denote reasons. Okay. Let's take a look at our third clause. It reads, many people are finding. Here many people is the subject and are finding is the verb. Presence of that tells us that we have another clause here that reads that they can avoid toll charges on their home phones using their mobile phones for making long distance calls at night or on weekends at a time which, now here they is the subject and can avoid is the verb. Presence of which indicates the presence of another clause here that reads many wireless companies provide unlimited airtime for a small monthly fee. Here many wireless companies is the subject and provide is the verb. Now in the non-underlined portion, the mobile phones are used with the intention to make long distance calls. So the purpose to use mobile phone is to make long distance call, and whenever we need to express this intention, we use the to verb. Hence for making must be changed into to make. So this is one error in this sentence. Also, the modifier at a which is not very clear in modifying this phrase at night or on weekends. The way it is written, it seems as if it's talking about some other time other than at night or on weekends. In fact, it's been written in such a way that if there were an or before at a time, it would actually create a list of times when users could use mobile phones to make long distance calls at night or on weekends or at a time when the wireless companies provide unlimited airtime. So this modifier does not clearly modify this phrase. So we have the modifier error here. Also, which is not the correct relative pronoun to refer to time. So these are the mistakes in this sentence, and let's see which answer choice is correct. Well, choice A is not correct, as we just discussed now. In choice B, we have instead before using. Now, this means that toll charges on home phones can be avoided instead using mobile phones, as if it's meaning to say that some other method other than mobile phones can be used to avoid toll charges. Now, this is not the intended meaning of the sentence, so use of instead is incorrect there. Also, during appears twice in the very same clause, and that makes this clause look a little awkward. So for these two reasons, choice B is not the correct answer. Let's take a look at choice C. Here, by has been used before using, and it correctly establishes the fact that using mobile phones is the method to avoid toll charges on home phones. Also, when is the correct relative pronoun to talk about the times when the callers can use mobile phones. So choice C is the correct answer. Well, we will still review choices D and E. In D, comma has been removed between phones and using, which now means that using modifies home phones. So now it says that home phones using mobile phones, which is illogical, so this is one error in this sentence. Also, for making must be changed to make to express the intent of using the mobile phone. So choice D is also not the correct answer. In choice E, the use of when is not correct. Well, what's the intended meaning of the sentence? The intended meaning of the sentence is that toll charges can be avoided on home phones by using mobile phones. So this by actually establishes the fact that using mobile phones is the method to avoid toll charges, which is correct. But when we replace that by with when, it now rather establishing the fact that using mobile phone is the method gives the timing of using mobile phones to avoid toll charges, which is certainly not the intended meaning of the sentence. So use of when is incorrect here. Also, which is not the correct relative pronoun to refer to time. So E is not the correct answer. So as we discussed earlier, choice C is the correct answer for this sentence. Time to take a look at the takeaway messages. Whenever we need to express the intention or the purpose of the verb, we must use the infinitive, the to verb form. Also, every relative pronoun must refer to a specific entity to communicate the meaning most effectively. Also, modifiers must be worded correctly to communicate the intended meaning of the sentence in the most clear manner. Now, the concepts tested in this sentence have been covered in e-GMAT concepts, Level 1 Introduction to Modifiers, Level 1 Types of Modifiers, and Level 2 Modifiers Relative Pronouns.